So by this point, I'm pretty sure that you have heard many models like Gemma, Deepseek, Gwen, NVIDIA Nemotron, Gemma, Mistral, Llama, and many others. And some of these open source AI models are really designed to be very good at coding, meaning you can download and run the models and you can use it for creating a website, doing some agentic coding tasks directly on your computer. And given that it is offline, there is no need for internet connection, and also you can keep your project private. But the question is, how do you run the local AI model on your computer to be used for coding? Well, there are many ways you can do it, and there are also many platforms that lets you use your own AI model for coding. But in this video, I'll show you the simplest and quite possibly the easiest way you can run open source models like from the likes of Gemma, Deepseek, Gwen, Nemotron, Gemma, and many others on your computer. And we are going to pair the model with an integrated development tool or IDE, or basically a coding tool like VS Code and many others. So here's how you can do it. For the AI platform that you can use to run an AI model, I do recommend to use LM Studio. You can navigate to lmstudio.ai and then you can download the tool to your computer. This is available in many different operating systems, and also I would say LM Studio is the easiest to use, and also it is very popular. Now you can also use something like Llama, but I would say Llama is a bit more developer centric. So if you are not very comfortable with some command line or terminal use, then I think LM Studio is just a lot easier. Now for this example, I'll just use LM Studio, and after you have installed the program, you can launch it on your computer. So I would assume that you don't have any model available on your computer. So in LM Studio, you can navigate to this where you can search an AI model. Oh, by the way, LM Studio is basically just similar to many other AI chatbots where you can load an AI model and then you can chat with AI, and of course you can ask it to generate a code which later you can use on your project. But again, we want to have a more integrated experience. We just want to use let's say a coding tool, and then the LM Studio part is only for running the model. That's basically the idea in this video. Anyway, if you want to download an AI model, you can navigate to this menu. And then you can search and then download a model that are likely to be able to run on your computer. Now, I'm not going to explain how you can choose the best model depending on your computer, but basically you can see the number that might appear. Actually, not the number. It is more like the thumbs up. If you saw this thumbs up icon, meaning that the model can run on your computer. And also another consideration is you want to see if the tool, or sorry, the model has the ability to do tool calling. It is usually has this blue hammer icon that would indicate that it is able to run some tools, which is a very crucial part for agentic AI. So after that, after you have downloaded an AI model for coding, you can start a server on LM Studio. So let's navigate to developer, and then you can run the server, and then you can click load model. And in this case, I will use Gemma 4 with effective 4 billion parameters, but I'm going to increase the the size of the context window, because by default in LM Studio it is only 4,000 tokens, and that's actually very small. So here you want to enable this, and then you want to click this right arrow icon basically, and then you want to increase the size of the model. Now make sure that it is within the capacity of your memory or video memory depending on your system. In this case, I do have 16 gigabytes of video memory, so I think I'm totally fine using close to that number. Click load model and just wait until the model is fully loaded. So after that, we can use a coding tool like VS Code, for example. I think VS Code is very popular, and also there are many similar IDE like VS Code that also has the support for running a local AI model. So if you want to use VS Code, you can search on Google VS Code, and then you can navigate to this website, and you can download and install the program on your computer. Now, after that, let's launch VS Code. And here, okay, I do have another project. I guess I'm going to start a new folder. Open folder, and let's call this new project LM Studio Test. Hit enter, and then hit enter again. Select folder. Okay, now in VS Code, there is actually an AI tool that you can use, but this is a paid tool, and I mean you have to connect it with your Copilot account to be able to use this AI agent for coding. But again, we just want to use a local AI model in LM Studio in VS Code. So I'm going to close this. Now, for running or connecting a local AI model in this coding tool, you can navigate to extensions, and then we want to search and find an extension called Continue. That's a very unfortunate name. That's not exactly straightforward. It's Continue. Sorry about that. Yep, that's the name of the extension, Continue. Okay, now you can open it and you can click install and just wait until the extension is fully installed on VS Code. Alright, so the extension will be available on the left side of the screen. Now, honestly, this positioning is not very natural. Usually most IDE do have their AI agent tool on the right side of the screen. But if you want to if you want to move it into a different place, you can right click on the continue icon and then click move to, and then select secondary sidebar. And there you go. I would say this is a lot more natural. Now, I guess I'm going to delete this. I have my previous session with AI. So basically we need to load the AI model from LM Studio in Continue. So I'm going to click this gear icon. Okay, I guess I'm going to increase the size because otherwise some settings might not be present or available to be seen. Click models, and then you want to click this plus button, add a model. And for the provider, you want to select or search for LM Studio. All right. And here for the model, you can select auto detect and then click connect. And there you go. So it just detected that the Gemma 4 is available to be used, and it can be used for chatting and editing. Although for autocomplete, apparently I cannot use this model. Now this would be different from model to model. And in this case, I do have Gemma 4 with effective 4 billion parameters, and that model is not designed for coding. So some features might not be present. So maybe you want to use a bigger model or a model with a dedicated functionality for coding. But anyway, I'm totally fine with this. So after that, let me just go back, and here we can start chatting with the local AI model. So in this example, I'll just use this very short prompt, and for a local small model, I highly recommend to use a prompt that is very detailed, meaning that it's going to leave almost no room for ambiguity, because it's just the weakness of a small model. It's usually will just wander around and do something that was not intended to happen. So make sure that your prompt to be as detailed as possible. Anyway, I'll just send the message and just wait for AI to start building a simple website, and I'll just show you the result later. Okay, so after maybe about 1 or maybe 2 minutes, it's able to generate the code for a simple website. Now, initially, it didn't create the file, so I have to specify that I want to get the index.html file for the project. And after that, I got a website that looked like this, which is not the worst thing that I have ever seen, but definitely it is not as good as a cloud model like ChatGPT or Gemini. But for a small model, especially the one that was not designed for coding, I think that's quite decent. Now, I was also able to make the made a request to make the website to be prettier and has more sections, and it is able to modify the code quite well. And the second iteration looks like this. Now, I noticed that the header is really big. But yeah, it is able to make the website to be a bit better, and also it has more sections, so it is able to follow my instructions. Although I have to mention that it is not exactly smooth sailing, because on my third attempt to edit or make changes on the code, apparently I ran into problem, which is, well, kind of expected, given that this is again not a coding that is designed for, not a model that wasn't designed for coding, and also it is very small, and perhaps there are some other variables that might affect or influence the way AI able to function in this IDE. So yeah, I guess for most people, using a local AI model for coding can be quite technical and kind of challenging. So I think it's just better to just use a cloud-based model like the ones from Anthropic, from Google, and from OpenAI. I think those are the best companies for AI models at the moment. But I hope this video gives you a sort of introduction on how you can run a local AI model on your device and how you can connect it to VS Code to be able to be used as a coding model. If you like this video and you want to see other things that you can do with AI to make your life easier, then you can check out this video here, and I'll see you there.